a special night last night. Jose Tabata reacts as he sees Xavier Paul slide across with the game-winning run. Clint Hurdle reacts. What a night indeed in Pittsburgh last night, and who knows, try to match it or top it. A spectacular evening for baseball. We expect an even bigger crowd for Game 2 of this three-game series. The Pirates and the Phillies. Greg Brown and Steve Blass with you. Steve, a truly memorable night, wasn't it?
It really was. It was spectacular. And one of the real good things, Greg, was how many people of this crowd of over 33,000 last night hung around to watch that very special win. And if you want to write a script to beat the Phillies, who are a very good team, and they're having a hot pitcher out there, Cole Hamels, you have to do two things: play a mistake-free game and outpitch him. And that's exactly what the Pirates did.
Well, the Pirates have been doing that actually a lot here at PNC Park over the years.
Well, they really have. They've done a great job against the Philadelphia Phillies. And who can say why? You know, every once in a while you get hot at the right time against the right team in the right place. You know, the Pirates have had troubles in different places. They've had successes in different places, but they have done a real good job against Philadelphia at PNC Park.
And tonight it is Charlie Morton on the hill against Kyle Kendrick. What will Charlie Morton have in store for the Philadelphia Phillies? Chuck Moe, keep it rolling. Game 2 of this three-game series on Root Sports is coming up next.
Automotive, Barrel.com. Definitely worth the click. Let's go Bucks.
It's another perfect night for baseball along the banks of the Allegheny. Pirates hosting their cross-state rivals. And the Phillies lineup. Charlie Manuel's club, a record of 34-23. Jimmy Rollins, Placido Polanco, Chase Utley, 1-2-3. Ryan Howard hits cleanup. Shane Victorino, Raul Ibanez, followed by Dominic Brown. And really the only change is behind the plate. It's Dane Sardina catching tonight for Kyle Kendrick.
Charlie Morton making start number 11. A couple of complete games, one shutout. He's 5-2 with a 2.51 ERA so far. Charlie, don't change a thing.
First pitch swinging, and we are underway. Jimmy Rollins fouls it out of play. 83 degrees at game time. It's a fired up crowd.
Well, I'd like to see a lot of that. Charlie Morton coming inside to the lefties to keep them off that sinker that's down and away. They like to go out and get that, but if he comes inside, that'll keep them honest.
Tap foul. Ray Steerage, the Pirates pitching coach, seemed very excited about Charlie Morton's last bullpen session the other day in New York, and talked about Morton coming in against those left-hand hitters. And he's in again. A real good early sign, Steve.
Yeah. Well, you know, all spring training we heard from Paul Maholm about coming inside to righties to keep him off the outside pitch. Here's the sinker that he starts way in, and as long as it stays in and doesn't go back over the hitting zone, he's going to be fine with that pitch. That'll help him.
There are the numbers, the splits, and Morton has been working on that recently going in. You don't see that too often. Whatever Morton said, Lyle Overbay chuckled.
Well, Charlie's kind of deadpan. He's got that kind of quirky sense of humor, so he caught Lyle pretty good there.
He also has that change up, that split that he's been working on, and now Jimmy Rollins taking a little too much time for the fans' liking. And here comes one of the Phillies trainers. Boy, you could see on that AGH cam, he really took it off the shin.
Yep. Yeah, Charlie, if Charlie can keep left-handers honest and keep them from diving out and getting that sinking fastball and still keep it in and around that outside corner, because if they hit it a lot, he'll start going further out and he'll miss and he'll get behind in the count. So it's still a pitcher in transition from a high fastball pitcher to a low sinking moving pitch type of a hurler.
At some point, sorry not to interrupt, Steve, at some point Joe West, he likes to try and keep these games moving, and he just said to Charlie Manuel, you got to make a call here. 0-2 the count. Long delay for Rollins to decide whether he could continue. He does.
Joe would have liked it here last night for about 7 innings, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
About an hour and a half.
Fastball stays 0-2 on Jimmy Rollins. 2 for 5 last night. Stole a couple of bases. What a job by that man, Jeff Karstens. We keep saying it. Pretty soon we won't be so amazed.
Yeah.
It'll just be a typical Jeff Karstens start, which really it has become. Cole Hamels looking on. Line drive, fair. Past first. And Jimmy Rollins,
I think the leg's all right for Jimmy.
Doesn't appear to be slowed down at all. And the 0-2 pitch, he lines it down the right field side to the delight of the Phillies fans that are on hand.
Yep. Just out of the reach of Lyle Overbay as the left-hand hitting Jimmy Rollins hooked it. So it hooked between Overbay and first base, just running out away from Lyle, just far enough to get down there. And when he gets by the first base, and Jimmy Rollins is going to have 2 most of the time. And Sam Perlazzo retrieving the batting gloves, perhaps trading them for running gloves. Isn't it great in America? You can have different gloves for hitting and running. Running gloves. It's interesting. You'd think he'd change his socks.
Have running socks. Yeah. Why not? In the dirt, ball 1. You wouldn't know if he has running socks on.
No. At least change your shoes. I don't know why you change your gloves.
Polanco, 1 for 5 last night. 6th best average in the league at .317.
And played as good a third base as anybody has seen in probably the last 5 years last night.
Ball headed up the middle. Nice stop that saves a run for the time being as Neil Walker diving behind second. Cut the ball off, an infield single for Polanco, and a couple of hits to start the game.
Yep, that's what you're going to get with Charlie Morton. You're going to get guys pounding the ball down into the ground. AGH camera shows it going by Ronnie, and Neil Walker saving the run for the time being, although you're going to be really tested if you want to continue to save that run. You almost got to get a mindset, okay, I can't do anything about that guy at third, really, but I need to concentrate on Chase Utley and Howard and Victorino.
Utley hitting 194, just back off the disabled list. Takes a strike. He had the lone RBI for the Phillies last night, an RBI single in the 6th. Well, you hope Morton has better luck, by the way, this time. Monday, he got a bunch of those ground balls. Some were infield hits. Some were seeing eye singles. 11 singles in all. Giving up just one earned run in his 6 innings of work as that strike is called 0-2.
Went soft on, looked like a breaking ball. It dropped in there. Strike zone presented by Range Resources. And Charlie, concentrate on the guy who got it first and the batter. The guy at third you can't do much about.
Struck him out.
Of course, now your goals change. Boy, what a job he has done coming inside here in the first inning. Even with runners in first and third, nobody out still. Charlie Morton looks like he's got a little game plan of coming inside to those lefties and not letting them dive out. Range Resources.
The inside pitch from Hyundai. What does Charlie Morton have to do, Steve?
He's got to stay down, not downtown. You want to keep him in the ballpark. And hey, Kyle, I owe you one. Kyle Kendrick has beaten him soundly a couple times. Charlie's 0-2 against the Phillies, and Kendrick has been involved with both of those losses. I mean, lopsided losses. Little payback for Charlie tonight, hopefully.
Bounce towards second. That's a chance for 2. There's one. And trouble getting out of the glove. Cedeno throws it away. That's a double play ball. But Cedeno had a little trouble getting the ball out of his glove on the toss from Walker. And it's 1-0 Philadelphia.
Oh, you could have turned this whole inning upside down. That is custom made. Ronnie throws it away, but Neil Walker didn't have a clean release. I thought it was a little awkward and a high throw, so it didn't have a good look on a ball that should have been pretty routine.
No error, of course. The ball did not go into the seats. Howard does get the RBI. 1-0 Phillies. 4-6 on the force. RBI number 43 for Ryan Howard. Boy, wouldn't that have been something?
Well, you can set a tone defensively as well as offensively, and that would have been a shot in the arm for the Pittsburgh Pirates. But it's gone. You can't do anything about it now. But everything you wanted, the strikeout and then the custom made double play opportunity. And we've talked about this before. You play a good team like the Phillies, you cannot make mistakes. I mean, that won't go down as an error, but that's a mistake. You've got to play mistake-free ball against the good ball clubs.
Fly ball to center. McCutchen back to the track. So all things considered, not bad for Charlie Morton. He does give up a run. Pirates come to bat against Kyle Kendrick. It's brought to you by Toyota moving forward. Jose Tabata, Xavier Paul, Andrew McCutchen. They're your outfielders. That's a lot of speed out there and a lot of speed at the top of the order. Neil Walker hits cleanup. Lyle Overbay. And it's Chris Snyder and Brandon Wood. Ronnie Cedeno and Charlie Morton.
Kyle Hendrick has worked out of the Philadelphia bullpen for most of the year. Spot starter. This is just start number 3, and this guy has done a lot of starting in his early career with the Philadelphia Phillies, but just number 3 so far this year. Roy Oswalt on the shelf for a little while. That prompted a need for another starter, and there was a young man who did well for a couple starts. Is that Crowley, or I'm not sure of his name, but he was sent down, and now Hendrick.
Vance Worley was the pitcher that did not perform very well his last go-around against the Mets, so Kendrick possibly just another spot start. Strike 1 on Tabata. This pitch is away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tabata, game-winning base hit last night in the 12th inning. Had both RBIs. Chopper, and there's a Baltimore chop, or at Forest Field they used to call it a Pittsburgh chop. Tabata once more, and the throw is not in time. He's at second base with a hustling double.
Loving it, loving it. So a little payback for the high chop that the Phillies got in the first inning, and Tabata was thinking 2 bases, I think, the whole time. He had to be, because if he hesitates, he is lost. The high chop over the head of Polanco. He caught everything last night. He can't get that one. And when it gets on that thick grass, Jose said, well, I'm going to give it a shot. Big turn, probably bigger than he wanted, but he gets in there. Well, the Pirates with action. More action here in the first partial inning than we had through an hour and a half last night.
Now the batter, Xavier Paul. He will try and bunt often. He drops this one down. Got the great speed too. You see, Hendrick couldn't make any mistakes. Sacrifice goes the tying runner 90 feet away here in the first.
Well, Clint Hurdle playing for 1 run. You see that on occasion with a guy at first base. I don't know how often you see it when you have a leadoff double.
I got to think that's Paul doing that on his own. I got to think that, because he'll do that.
Maybe not a sacrifice bunt.
Yeah, correct. I think he's trying to bunt for a hit, and if he got a sacrifice, great, and that's what he got. And the infield is back. They'll concede a run. It's ball 1, and it would be good to put some doubts in Kendrick's mind. As Steve said, he has pitched well against the Pirates.
And 4-0 and 4 starts.
McCutchen 0 for 6 against Kendrick in previous matchups. And a chopper. This will score a run. Polanco with an almost unbelievable play again, but can't get the speedy McCutchen. It's tied at 1, an infield hit.
RBI number 30 for Andrew. The running Bucks.
We look at the speed at the top of this Pirates batting order with Tabata, Paul, and McCutchen. Tabata, the speedy hustling double. Paul dropping down the bunt. If he got a hit, great. If not, he moved the runner to third. And the infield hit for McCutchen.
This is the kind of start that the Pirates had against the Mets in that last day game, when they're off and running, everything going their way. So you wonder if that kind of theme will present itself here in the bottom of the first inning, meaning that would Andrew take off? See if they can keep this running game going in the bottom of the first.
Neil Walker tied for 8th in the league with 37 runs batted in. And a strike is called. Speaking of McCutchen running, he tried to in the 9th inning last night and was cut down by Carlos Ruiz. And in talking to Clint Hurdle before the game, Steve, he said it might have been the best throw he's ever seen by a catcher throwing out a runner, because McCutchen's jump was fabulous.
Oh, when he took off, I said, he might not throw the ball. It was that early that he got going.
The best ever from a catcher, according to Clint Hurdle, that he's ever seen.
Clint's seen a few throws by catchers.
In the dirt, the block by Dane Sardina. Sardina starting with Carlos Ruiz playing all 12 innings last night. Chris Snyder is back in the lineup tonight for Pittsburgh. He caught all 12.
But Brian Schneider is still in the DL for the Phillies, along with some others. Utley is back.
Chris Snyder in the hole. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Walker. And lifted toward left. Ibanez nearing the line. It's the second out of this first inning. Walker flies out to left. It brings up Overbay. Even though Lyle Overbay was 0 for 3 at the plate last night, he was a big reason the game continued into the 12th because of the defensive play he made. And the ball hit by Jimmy Rollins in the top of the 10th. It would have been a run-scoring double. And they're all up the Allegheny General Hospital Rotunda. It is packed.
And they're still pouring across the Clemente Bridge.
McCutcheon got back. 11 steals, caught 5 times this season. And fairly close.
Same umpiring crew we had last night, with the exception of Joe West, who is a crew chief now, coming in to join this crew, and Lance Barrett leaving. But other than that, Angel Hernandez, Angel Compost, and Chad Fairchild, with Joe West behind the plate.
It's going to be fouled out of play. And Joe West, as Steve said, becomes the crew chief. Angel Hernandez was the crew chief last night. He's at first base. There's Campos and Fairchild. A 1 count on Overbay. Roy Halladay will go tomorrow. Finale of this series. Talking with Cole Hamels, last night's starter.
What a job he did. What, 7 or 8 innings with 1 hit? You know, just another word on that double play. Now that the Pirates are playing better, and they are playing better, you can say, yeah, damage control, we got out of it 1 inning, but if you want to play with the big boys, you've got to make that play every day if you want to compete at that higher level, if you have higher aspirations. So hopefully it won't hurt, and the Pirates did answer with a run, so it takes the sting out of it.
Oh, 2 count. Tap toward first. That's a fair ball. Well, correction time. Joe West says foul ball. Joe West has to make the call up to first base. The first base umpire, Angel Hernandez, called it fair, but Joe West has it the first 90 feet.
Until it gets to the bag.
Charlie Manuel's going to argue, wait a second. Your first base umpire says fair. Joe West said no.
See, Howard is in front of first base, so that's the home plate umpire's priority if he wants to overrule. It's his call until it gets past the base bag.
Angel Hernandez there, calling it a fair ball. Charlie Manuel barking at Joe West. Joe West has a short fuse on most nights. And of course, Charlie Manuel's not real happy these days. His club, he's not used to this team losing much at all anyway. They've lost 3 straight, and the offense has really struggled. There's a different angle. Not where the body is, where the ball is. 0-2 the count. This Phillies offense is due to break out of it at any moment. 0-2 the count on Overbay. We'll keep a close eye on the Kendrick pitch count too, being a spot starter. What was his last start, Steve, did you say, for Kendrick?
It was May 19th.
He says he can throw at least 65 pitches. That's what he says. He made that start when Joe Blanton learned he couldn't pitch against the Rockies with an injured elbow. So Kendrick learned 20 minutes before that game on the 19th against Colorado that he would make the start. And 2-2 as this at-bat continues, thanks to Joe West calling it the foul ball. His call.
Well, it's not like he's not been out there. This is career start number 85, so he knows the drill. But that short notice business will get your attention.
3-2. He's walked 13 in 29 innings, but 5 of those were intentional walks.
And one other factor, I don't know how much of a factor it's going to be tonight, Greg, but last night the ball was not carrying at all. I mean, it died on the warning tracker before. Tonight during batting practice and a couple balls already, the one hit to McCutchen, the ball is carrying well. It is going to be a good night for hitters.
McCutchen goes. There's a fly ball to right field. Is it gone? It's off the Clemente wall, and McCutchen will score. Overbay to second. 2-1 Pirates in the first.
Yep, the ball's carrying tonight. And that didn't miss much of being a 2-run home run. As Dominic Brown, all he could do is turn around and hope he was in position for the bounce if he was going to get one. There's a two-seamer that got right back into that hitting zone. And look how close it came. About 7-8 feet underneath the yellow line. Andrew off to the races on contact, 2 outs. Don't you just love that 2-out offense? You think your inning is going to get shut down and you score again, and possibly again and again.
11th double for Overbay. And it's ball 1 on Snyder. Snyder's averaged .281. He's hit safely in 6 of his last 7. He was 0 for 3 with a couple of walks last night. 2-1 Pirates lead it. Two 2-0 with Brandon Wood on deck. Wood gets under it and a fly ball to center. Victorino backpedals. Pirates pick up a couple. Erase a 1-0 deficit. Charlie Morton takes the hill again.
Baseball fans, it's time for your voice to be heard. Here's tonight's Root Sports text poll question. Which Pirate pitcher has been the most impressive so far? Text 1 for Kevin Correa, text 2 for Charlie Morton, or text 3 for Joel Hanrahan. Text your answer to 412-412. We'll update the results throughout the evening. Guys, I'm going with the hammer. As a part-time save guy with Washington, he had 14 saves. As a full-time close guy here in Pittsburgh, he's 14 for 14.
Okay, let's see.
How are you going to go wrong?
Dan's made his choice. I guess that leaves. He's going to take the hammer. That's let's see. It's Correa or Morton for you and me, Steve.
All right. Since you hesitate and you're not sure,
well,
I am sure.
It's difficult. It's a difficult
Give him
question.
Correa. I take Correa.
Well, that's easy.
He's leading the major leagues in wins.
Because it's the most impressive to me. Charlie Morton's been the most impressive. He defines it. What do you think?
I already said Correa.
412-412.
Oh, you're talking
Correa.
to the fans now.
Potash goes with Hanrahan. Blast goes with Correa. I'll say Morton. And we'll keep tabs here of the votes. See what you think. 412-412.
Tell you one thing, Charlie was pretty darn impressive in top of the first after getting the jam first and third with nobody out. Had a chance to get out of it. Escaped with one. Could have got out clean.
Ibanez down. One up and one down. The strikeout. And we'll certainly keep tabs of how Morton faces these left-hand hitters and tries to keep them off balance. Text 1, 2, or 3. 1 if you believe Correa is the most impressive. 2, Charlie Morton. 3, Joel Hanrahan. 412-412, and then punch in 1 for Correa, 2 for Morton, 3 for Hanrahan. Here's Dominic Brown.
Okay, let's take a look at the Ibanez strikeout. Strike zone presented by Range Resources, but that had a little mustard on it from Charlie Morton. The thing about Charlie is he's still throwing as hard, and you don't have that many guys that throw sinkers throw at 93 or 94. So that's the double whammy. You got movement, and you haven't given up the speed. Oh boy, you want that pitch. That to me is the ultimate two-seam sinking fastball away from the left-hand batter right there. Did not get the call, but I love that pitch.
Up the middle.
Green light.
Away 3-0, Dominic Brown.
Well, that's the chance you take. You can get the pitcher off the hook if you're out, but you can also sometimes get and gamble on getting a fat pitch. You got the fat pitch. Most catchers, double play candidates.
Dane Sardina.
Yep.
In stereo.
Would be in that category.
He's played in a dozen games.
It's not Dane with a ponytail. He's behind the plate.
And a strike. 2 natives of Hawaii in the starting lineup for these Phillies. Of course, the flying Hawaiian, Shane Victorino from Wailuku, Hawaii. Dane Sardina from Honolulu. A Red second-round pick back in 2000 out of Pepperdine. 0-1 on Sardina. 0-2. Sardina, a career 174 hitter. 25 hits and 144 at bats. 7 hits and 25 ABs this season for the Phils. And it hit him on an 0-2 pitch. He was ahead 0-2.
And that's frustration right there. You got to shake this off. 0-2 to the number 8 guy in the batting order. That's the last thing you want to do. And now it gives Kendrick the opportunity to try to move the runners over, even at the cost of an out.
time called.
Kendrick has not been up at the plate. What 4 plate appearances? Got a base hit. Has not sacrificed a runner.
Pulls back, takes a strike. Career 125 batting average, including 18 sacrifice bunts. It's a good number for Kyle Kendrick.
But if Charlie gets that sinker down, a good chance, or there is a chance, that he could bunt the top of the baseball, foul it straight down, foul. Effective.
Sacrifice, 1-4. 2 outs, 2 in scoring position for Jimmy Rollins. Morton got ahead of him 0-2. Rollins fouled off a couple, including one right off his shin. Took a long while before he got back in the batter's box, and then he doubled down the right field line past Overbay. .32-year-old Oakland, California native Jimmy Rollins, most valuable player in the National League in 2007. Strike 1 on him.
Charlie will start as he always does with that split finger grip, and then he'll make any adjustments when he's in the glove, coming to the set position right there.
Bounce to second. On to first. You just cannot say enough about Charlie Morton.
Yeah, because he's your man.
Darn right. Text him. Text 412-412. Morton's your man. Poll question. No limit on votes. Standard text rates apply. Which Pirate pitcher you have found to be most impressive so far this season? Text 1 for Correa, 2 for Morton, 3 for Hanrahan, 412-412. And obviously, most in agreement with me, Steve, and Dan. Sorry about that, but Charlie Morton. As good as Correa and Hanrahan have been, don't get me wrong, the most impressive, underscore that word. There's a fly ball deep to left, hit by Brandon Wood and sending Ibanez back to the track.
Well, the thing is, you got to hang in there with Danny Potash, because Hanrahan's going to come in with a lot of votes late. He's a closer. He's a late game guy. Morton's pitching tonight, so my guy is on the bench. So that's why my numbers aren't where they should be. But how about the guy? Isn't it who wins the most games? Correa's got 8, Charlie's got 5. Come on, voters, let's go.
Well, of course, earned run average.
Doesn't matter. Wins. It's wins.
Charlie Morton came in with a 2.51 ERA, 4th lowest in the league. And how impressive was he to get out of that second inning? Now Ronnie Cedeno.
And the first.
And the first is right. Tap foul. Cedeno 0 for 3 with a run scored last night. Another walk for him, Steve. This really is a different Cedeno than we're used to seeing.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of last night, that created something that hasn't happened to me in 18 years. I walked into the Giant Eagle in the South Hills today and didn't get booed. Nobody booed me.
What a good feeling.
The Buccos are playing better. You talk about wins like last night in front of a big crowd. It eats into that theory that, oh, the Bucks, they come so close, but they didn't make it. They lost again. They're trying, but they don't have quite enough to get over the top. Well, tonight or last night, they got it done, and that eats into that theory. They are capable of playing that kind of a ball game.
Well, it's early in this one, but just the fact that they came right back in the bottom of the first and scored a quick pair.
Yep.
It's just something that hasn't happened in the past. Most nights, the Pirates have not answered opponents over the last decade and a half. Most nights. This year, it's been different. They have been answering, and of course, the pitching's been outstanding. And Cedeno down the line and left.
Thank you, please. That's two.
Ronnie Cedeno into second base with a one-out double.
Kind of a thank you, ma'am, swing is looked like he was out in front, but was able to hold back just enough to serve it to left field. Strike zone presented by Range Resources. Take a look at the swing. Just a little thank you, ma'am. Well placed. Two bases.
Easy two for Ronnie Cedeno. His 8th double of the season. Charlie Morton now taps this one. Kendrick will field and throw. Retire Morton.
There's about 86 on the radar gun from Kendrick over to Ryan Howard.
Brings up Tabata and leads us to our PNC achievement. Jose Tabata enjoying his second walk-off hit of the season. Earlier against the Rockies in April. An RBI hit came in the 12th last night. First Pirate since 2008. Have 2 walk-off hits in the 12th inning or later in the same season. Jason Bay the other. PNC achievement brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you.
On the doorstep, Mr. Cedeno at third base.
Oh, knocked down by Kendrick. It was headed up the middle. Kendrick knocked it down. Keeps the Bucks off the board. Head to the third at PNC Park in front of a full house. Pirates lead 2-1.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is sponsored by Toyota. Buy right the first time and save more. Visit your local Toyota dealer for details. And by AT&T. Let's go Bucks!
Under the third inning, and the trivia question brought to you by AT&T Mobility. And here it is. Who was the last Pirate to hit for the cycle in the city of Pittsburgh? There's a Philly and a Pirate fan right there.
There's mixed emotions, isn't it?
He's happy.
It's bipolar.
No matter what, he's happy. Happy for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Every play makes him happy.
Polanco, an infield hit in the first.
Just to give you some recent Charlie, now that we've settled down a little bit. Last 6 starts, just 9 earned runs given up. 3-1 over those 6. He could be 5-1. Last 4 starts, just 6 walks. I really like that, including his last start where he did not issue a walk. So again, a pitcher in transition, working on a different approach, but working very nicely on it.
Xavier calling right. 1 out. Speaking of pitching, talked about it all season. Our Barrel Automotive League leaders in terms of home earned run average. Look where the Pirates stand, 3rd behind the Nationals and the Angels in the major leagues.
That's the whole staff, isn't it? That's just not starters.
Yep. Barrel.com, definitely worth the click. Charlie Morton, Ray Surridge have teamed up to make quite a pair. Paul Mahallam looking forward to his next start, which will be Wednesday, and it could be matched up, as you see Jeff Karstens, against his good buddy Zach Duke. Would that be a matchup, huh? Yep. Arizona Diamondbacks in town starting Tuesday night. Kevin Correa will pitch Tuesday, Mahallam Wednesday, Karstens on Thursday. 1 ball, no strikes on Chase Utley. Charlie Morton's home ERA, minuscule 1.95 this season. His 5th home start.
You know what I'm a little bit tired of, Greg, is these comparisons with Charlie Morton and Roy Halladay. Charlie Morton is Charlie Morton. Roy Halladay is Roy Halladay. Leave it alone. Charlie's good. I mean, Charlie's doing what he's doing.
Hit left in the air. 2 outs.
That might be a headline. 2 fly balls in the same inning off Charlie Morton. Just flat out leading the major league in ground ball outs.
First 2 down now, faces Ryan Howard. Looked as though it might get an inning-ending double play off the bat of Howard, but Pirates could not turn 2. That was not an error, by the way, on Cedeno. So his errorless streak still intact at 41 consecutive games. The overshift is on, with Neil Walker playing the shallow right field. Talked to him today about that. He got a good chuckle out of it, so he's getting used to it. Pirates will do that a lot, as will other teams. Have their second baseman play well onto the outfield grass. He said it reminds him of roving out Little League ball.
Where do we try out the 5-man infield? That's been done.
2-1. Also thought it was interesting that last night Clint Hurdle decided to have Josh Harrison, then the third baseman, move to the right side of second and play second and leave Cedeno at short. And it was because he said Harrison has played a lot of third and second and isn't as comfortable at shortstop. So here Brandon Wood, who's played all the infield positions, including short.
I want to show you a little extenuating circumstance on this double play. There's Walker, and watch Polanco. I mean, he goes out of his way to get Ronnie and also kind of swipe away at his back leg. So you don't know if that's a factor in that double play attempt.
Well, we do know that if you look at that replay again, Steve, that is certainly cause for an umpire to rule him out.
Yep.
In fact, the umpiring crew should have. He's nowhere near second base.
Way out, and watch the hands.
Doesn't even come close to coming in contact with the second base bag.
There's your ultimate freeze cam right there.
Yeah. So the umpiring crew missing one there. That should have been a double play. Somebody made a nice grab on the foul ball, and even the Parrot getting involved here. He's going to
there will
be concession action.
No bouncing around chasing foul balls tonight in an empty seat situation. You better get it on the first attempt. It is a great sight to see this ballpark filled. It is a fabulous sight.
And to the shallow right fielder, Neil Walker. 4-3 on the putout. 1-2-3 go the Phillies. Coming up in the bottom of the third, we'll see Xavier Paul, Andrew McCutchen, and Neil Walker. Head to the bottom half of the third inning. The 2, 3, 4 men in the order for the Pirates: Xavier Paul, Andrew McCutchen, and Neil Walker against Kyle Kendrick. Kendrick has thrown 27 pitches.
No, Jimmy Rollins not able to continue.
Oh, Rollins is out of there. Wilson Valdez. So Rollins, who had that foul ball off his shin, pulled from the ball game.
That doesn't hurt the Pirate chances any. Rollins is that good. Valdez, by the way, I think his last appearance picked up a win.
As a pitcher, right?
Yep. In the 19th inning, I think they played against the Cincinnati Reds, went 19, and Valdez got the W.
One ball, one strike. Paul bunted his last time. 2-1. It's fun to walk around town, chat with fans, because there is a buzz about the Pirates, unlike anything I can remember in years. Just baseball talk, Pirate talk, and they love this guy's approach. Xavier Paul getting an opportunity. Bounced past Howard in the right.
Well, and a play that should have been made. I hope he gets a base hit out of it. We'll wait and see. But the main thing is the Pirates got the leadoff man on. Error is charged.
Ryan Howard charged with the error. I think that's his first of the season. It is. There he goes. Paul takes off immediately and is called out at second. It's amazing how many times this has happened for the Pirates this past week. And here comes Clint Hurdle again. It's uncanny how many times it looks as though the runner beats the throw and the out has been called. This time Angel Campos with the out call.
Clint Hurdle probably saying, how many times is this going to happen? Is it going to be automatic?
It looked as though Paul got a pretty good jump. It looked as though he slid ahead of the tag, but he's saying he was tagged on the neck.
Well, let's see how much we can slow it down here.
Oh, goodness.
That tag isn't close, I don't think.
Yeah, unless there's a different angle that shows us something. That is amazing.
That's a bad call. Yeah, that's a high tag after contact is made at second base. AGH cam, even more definitive.
Wow.
The foot is there.
His body's over the pad.
Yeah, the tag is up on the 8 of the 38.
Two and one now on McCutchen. Xavier Paul robbed of a steal, and again telling everybody he tagged me on my neck. Grounded to the shortstop, the new one, Wilson Valdez. Throws out McCutchen. Back to our AT&T mobility trivia question, which was last Pirate to hit for the cycle in the city of Pittsburgh. It's got to be Kendall, doesn't it? Jason Kendall.
Yep.
At Three River Stadium, May 19th, 2000 against the Cardinals. Flashback. See, Rick Ankiel was starting that game.
Yep.
Home run for Kendall.
It's going to be a triple there, probably.
I think the triple was the last thing he got.
Okay.
I think.
Double. Yeah, there's a double.
Yeah, here's the triple. Prior to Kendall, Wally Westlake. The Pirates hit for the cycle in the city of Pittsburgh at Forbes Field June 14th, 1949 against the Boston Braves.
Wally Westlake, he was a member of my Cleveland Indians in 1954.
Ground ball to first. Howard has it. Tosses on to Kendrick. Phillies going to break on a call. On to the fourth, 2-1 Pittsburgh.
Where Charlie Morton is still leading the way as the most impressive pitcher so far for the Pirates this season, and at least in your thoughts. People, listen to me when I tell you, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
And that's what a closer does.
That's
and
right.
You're right. He finishes.
That's right.
But also Kevin Correa closing on Charlie.
All that means is Charlie Morton fans have to get going again. Text 412-412 and punch in the number 2.
Not a
Spreader
sprint.
text rates
3.
apply.
It's a marathon.
It's number 2.
3.
It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
3.
It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
412-412.
3.
And punch in the number 2 for Charlie Morton. Most impressive, again, is the question.
Right. And you can translate into number 1. Number 1 is the most impressive, so vote for number 1.
3 is a crowded. I like 3.
It's hard to argue with you guys. I mean, Hanrahan's been impressive. Correa's been impressive, but the most impressive, come on. The way Charlie Morton has remade himself, Steve and Dan, is...
That's impressive, but you want to take a look at results, too. 8 wins. Charlie's been great. 5 wins. Correa's got 8.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Victorino.
I will give you this. I've never been on a Pirate Caravan with Kevin Correa. I've been on with Charlie, and it's been a delight. So
I was on with Hanrahan. It was a delight. And Morton. I've been on with Morton. They're all delightful people. But they didn't say who's the most delightful pitcher.
all right.
Looking for the number 2 on there. It's hard to, is that 2 there? That's a 2. Softly hit in the center. Shane Victorino starts the 4th inning off with a base hit. Brings up Raul Ibanez. Now we get to the text the booth question of the night. 412-412.
Not a poll. This is the question.
Yeah, you have a question for Steve? Go ahead. Send the question, your name, 412-412, and in the 7th inning, Steve will pick out what he believes to be the best question and answer it. See if yours will be on. Text the booth, 412-412.
You just want to send a statement supporting Kevin Correa. That's all right, too.
It's all right, too. Did you hear Steve say that?
And ask Steve, why have you not voted for 3?
Well, it's just the 4th inning. As we get closer to a closed situation, a save situation, I'm so flexible. I'm on the fence right now, as always. I can lean toward Mr. Hanrahan later on.
Ibanez struck out his first time up, and it's ball 1. It's the second time the Phillies have had their leadoff man on. Rollins doubled to start the first. Want to know on Ibanez. Ball 2.
And Mr. Victorino is a little antsy down at first base, giving an indication that he might want to take off.
He's 8 out of 9 in stolen base attempts. Phillies a great success rate in stolen base attempts. Second highest percentage among major league teams. And a ground single to right. And Victorino will take off for third. Ibanez singled past Overbay. 1st and 3rd, and nobody out in the 4th.
And that's a job by the Phillies of being aware of the playing surfaces, too. This ball gets on the outfield grass and just dies. This is a thick carpet. Once that ball gets to the outfield, Victorino has to hesitate. That ball will slow down, and he's got plenty of time to get around second into third base. If it's not a bouncing ball, if it's a rolling ball, you can take an extra base. Good bit of time here in this ballpark.
Well, another frustrating moment for Overbay. You would see him pound his fist into the grass. If he is a half a step to his right, of course he had to cover first for Victorino, but that's a ground ball and possibly a double play. Instead, it's 1st and 3rd, nobody out for Dominic Brown. High chopper.
Take one.
And they'll get one. And the Phillies will score one to tie it at 2.
That's all you had available there. And you're in position now with a key number 8 guy. Get on the other side of him. You work against the pitcher. You can keep it down to a 1-run top of the 4th.
Ibanez at second. Dane Sardina was hit by a pitch on an 0-2 count. By the way, there has been an official scores change. Xavier Paul will get credit for a hit. Take the air away from Ryan Howard. The bottom of the third.
Okay, happy for
Add a
Xavier.
Hit to the Pirates column. So hits are even at 5 apiece. Ibanez at second with 1 out. 0-1 to Sardina. Missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Morton went away from the fastball there. And there's a ground ball. Shortstop. Cedeno to Overbeck.
Okay, you've written the part of the script that should be the most difficult. You got that key number 8 man at the expense of 90 feet, so you get to work against the mound opponent.
Kendrick sacrificed his first at bat.
I think I remember you saying Ryan Howard had not made an error, but the streak continues for him now after the change, the scoring change.
Fouled back by Kendrick. Mentioned his career batting average of 125.
Here's the place as a starting pitcher where you really want to hunker down. This is usually your best chance to get an out, best percentage, and you're 0-2 now. You just go to the pump right now, whether it's a fastball or curveball. You're in the driver's seat. This should be a situation where you leave the man at third. Should be a done deal.
Just a little pop-up and a done deal as Overbay puts it away. Phillies back-to-back leadoff hits from Victorino and Ibanez and the ground ball, and they've tied it at 2.
Your day. Let's go Bucks.
Time to check out our day automotive this day in Pirates history. Take you back to June 4th, 2009. Has it been 2 years? Andrew McCutchen made his major league debut against the Mets, singled in his first at bat.
Good skinny kid.
Look at that. 2 for 4. A stolen base, scores 3 runs in his big league debut against the Mets. And a victory at the end. First game in the big leagues.
Andrew and Niger celebrating.
that Phillies fan. I mean, that Pirates fan. That Phillies fan. 2-2. Back and forth. Bottom of the fourth inning.
Yeah, not quite sure where he stands yet. 2-2 ball game. By the way, a little shout out to friends from Ohio and actually watching us on Root Sports out in the South Hills. Bill and Pam Nicholson from Cambridge, Ohio, in town rooting for the Bucks and doing some babysitting.
Overbay doubled off the wall and right in the first. Lines this ball foul.
Watch out, ball girl. That ball was lasered out there. Too hot to handle. I guess you can't charge an error there.
Now to play 1-2. It's Overbay, Snyder, and Wood against Kendrick. Overbay's double scored McCutchen. Pirates took a 2-1 lead. And the Phillies have tied it with a run in the top of the fourth. Hit the other way. It's going to drop in front of Ibanez and skips over his head. So Overbay will reach second and think about third. Yeah, he'll go to third easily. Raul Ibanez slipped, and that cost the Phillies 2 bases, perhaps. Certainly a single for Overbay, and now at third.
Yep, and that was a great bounce and a slip for the Pirates. A little flare for a base hit, and once it got over the head of Ibanez, just slowly rolling out to the wall. Here comes Raul, and trips, loses his footing. And Lyle, who doesn't get many triples, going to get one comfortably here. You get a triple and you don't have to slide. Things have gone well for you. Still a long trip. He's trying to catch his breath.
Nobody out infield will concede a run here. Snyder at the plate.
See if the Pirates can answer that run that the Phillies put up in the top of the fourth. That's always a good thing.
Almost a full year since Lyle Overbay collected a triple. It's his first Pirate triple. Last one was June 11th as a member of the Toronto Blue Jays. Oh, 0-2.
Kendrick will not overpower you. 90 miles an hour. Strike zone presented by Range Resources. He's got a lot of sink to the ball too. He throws on top over the ball and he drives the ball downward toward home plate. A little more straight downward than Charlie. Charlie has down and movement side to side.
Chopper. Overbay breaks for the plate. He'll score. Snyder gets him home. Pirates now have twice answered the Phillies after they scored in the top half, and they regain the lead.
Good job by Chris in an 0-2 situation. Find a way to get it done. Put a point up on the board.
15th RBI for Chris Snyder. Overbay the triple. Snyder brought him home. 11th career triple for Overbay. Steve said Overbay not used to those triples. He's right. Over 4,000 at bats in the big leagues, just 11 triples. 1-1 on Brandon Wood with a ball to the warning track and left.
It's a long trip around the base paths. The big man.
Thanks to the trip by Ibanez.
I don't know if he replaced his divot out there in left field or not. He took a pretty good gouge out as he lost his footing.
One and two on Brandon Wood. Off the mask on the AGH cam.
Almost looks like a mask or a headgear that a race car driver would wear. See Kendrick driving that ball down, trying to keep the ball down in the strike zone.
Dean Sardina, the catcher. There's old school Joe West.
Yep, traditional mask.
2-2 the count on Brandon Wood. Rips this foul. Clint Hurdle said today that they continue to work with Brandon Wood, starting to do some good things. Picked up a big hit the other day on the road. And he would give Wood a start again tomorrow at shortstop. Ronnie Cedeno going to get a rare day off, and then Neil Walker is going to get a day off against the Diamondbacks. First game of that series on Tuesday as Wood lifts this one to left. Foul.
Right in the corner there where the stands jut out so close to the foul line.
Pirates picked up 2 players off waivers in April. Brandon Wood from the Angels and Xavier Paul from the Dodgers. Josh Harrison had made 3 straight starts at third base, 4 straight. And this is popped to left, sending Ibanez back to the wall. And it is gone! Brandon Wood's first home run kept carrying and gives the Buccos a 4-2 lead in the 4th. First dinger for Wood. Would you believe it?
I believe it. And the ball is carrying much differently, much better than it did last night. Last night that ball would have been caught on or just before the warning track, but just kept sailing away. There's a gentle breeze blowing in that direction. You can see the ball is upstairs, up in that power zone, and he gets enough height, and he gets enough carry, and he gets enough distance.
Home run number 1 on the year for Brandon Wood, his first as a Bucco. Former first-round pick of the Angels 8 years ago.
And what does a crowd over 38,000 love to say? They dig the long ball. They dig the long ball.
Cued off the end of the bat. Take another look at the home run.
Thought it was going to be on the warning track. Ibanez going back, and runs out of room. As there was enough fuel. Just over the Sunoco fueling victory sign.
1 ball, 1 strike on Cedeno. Pirates scored twice here and lead 4-2. Brandon Wood. Clint Hurdle said before the game he likes what he's seen as he's been working along with Greg Ritchie. A Wood swing. And you really have to like what they've done with Ronnie Cedeno. Yeah, Clint Hurdle almost from day one has made Cedeno a project and kind of taken him under his wing. Cedeno continues to make improvements. Lines this one, almost knocks Hendricks' head off, deflects to the shortstop Valdez.
Wow. 1-6-3, big time. And they're going to go out and give Kendrick a chance to check his heart rate.
Did he clip his finger? I thought he looked at his hand. Maybe not.
This is close to being scary.
Whew. So get all glove.
Boy, if he doesn't get the glove up, that is heading for his head. Cedeno out after smoking the ball.
Now it's Charlie Morton. Morton bounced to the pitcher in the second. Follow the Pirates with your MLB.com at Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at Bat to 31826 or visit Pirates.com for details. 0-2 the count on Morton. Kendrick approaching 60 pitches. Again, he said he thought he could throw at least 65 in this spot start. Grounded to the shortstop, Valdez. Retires Charlie Morton. Busy inning for the Buccos. Overbase triple. Coming home on the Snyder ground ball, and Brandon Wood got enough wood to get it out. His first Pirate home run.
Be this afternoon as fans got a chance to take part in Photo Fest, where they can meet, greet, and take photos with their favorite Pirates. As you can see, a nice turnout actually all day here on the North Shore. Tons of people everywhere for this series. They're getting a chance to snap a photo with their favorite Bucco. And speaking of favorite Bucco, guys, headed to the bullpen just moments ago. That's right, your choice for the most impressive pitcher of the Pirates this year. Number 3, texting to 412-412, the Hammer, Joel Hanrahan, who, as he made his way out, looked at me and said, "I'm not getting any love, am I?" Yes, you are. Just need a little bit more.
Well, the thing about it, he's one of my favorites too. But the question, Dan, not your favorite Pirates pitcher. I mean, Hanrahan might be my favorite also. But the most impressive pitcher this year.
You speak with forked tongue.
412-412, number 2.
Yeah,
Charlie Morton.
But Brownie, I'm here to sell it.
I understand. I know, and we're all doing our best. Blast is failing.
Wins. All one word. Wins.
Get out.
Think wins.
Winning.
Just think wins.
Get out there and sell.
Sell it.
Speak with forked tongue.
2-0 the count on Valdez, in for Rollins, who left with a bruised kneecap. Rollins 1 for 2. And this misses. 3-0 count. Oh boy, Correa and Hanrahan are gaining ground. All right, Morton, folks. 4-1-2, 4-1-2. Ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to Valdez. That is his first walk.
I told you his control has been very much improved recently, including no walks last time up. First one issued here. By the way, Kevin Correa has not walked anybody tonight.
Nor has Hanrahan, come to think of it. Although Correa hasn't struck anybody out yet tonight. Nor has Hanrahan.
Nor has Kevin given up any runs.
Charlie Morton and the Pirates are winning right now, 4-2 in the 5th. Strike one on Polanco. One of the 5 Phillies hits, an infield single by Polanco in the first as Walker went out behind second. Made a diving grab.
For the moment, saving that run.
Polanco, not surprisingly, once again the toughest man in the league to strike out. He's always been a tough out. Just a really solid ball player wherever he's been. Back with the Phillies again. And as Steve said, he might have played as good a third base as we have seen in years last night.
Every play, the reaction plays, the plays coming in, throwing in the run toward home plate, made them all.
35-year-old Cito Polanco, a Gold Glover in 2007 and 2009. Those 2 years while with the Tigers. Runner breaks for second. And the Pirates will have just the one play as Walker throws on to get Polanco.
Well, there's a time for him to go if that ball was going to be hit exactly like that, because that would have been an easy double play.
Chase Utley has struck out and flied out.
I mean, the Phillies have lost 3 in a row, and this is a guy they really need to get going. You know, he was out until May 23rd. This is a very, very important player for the Phils.
We said they are going to catch fire and score a bunch of runs real soon. They've run into good pitching, Karstens and Morton tonight. Phillies coming into tonight, their previous 3 games had scored a total of 4 runs, just 3 earned, and in that 3-game span they were hitting just $190. James McDonald going to try to keep up this good roll tomorrow. He'll be on the hill against Roy Halladay. J-Mac. Two-one count on Utley. Wilson Valdez walked and now in scoring position. Utley last 8 games against the Pirates hitting .355. 2-1. Missed all of spring training, and as Steve said, most of the first 2 months of the season with the right knee problems, tendonitis. Last 7 years, he's led all big league second basemen in homers, runs batted in, total bases, extra base hits.
I sat down and had an interview. We're going to play it on the radio side tomorrow, greats of the game, and he refuses to talk about himself, which I have a lot of respect for.
Check swing roller. Brandon Wood, a nice stop, and thinks better of throwing it and almost grabs the runner at third as he dives toward Valdez.
And a great attempt by Brandon Wood. If he had the ability to just do it a little bit quicker, he would have got him. But he was preoccupied saving this ball right here, and that is a great save. Now he looks over at first. But, oh, wow. Got a shot, but not quite.
Brandon Wood, like Walker in the first, saves a run for now and keeps the double play in order. Ryan Howard nearly hit into the twin killing in the first.
Did ground out to deep second base. If he hits it in that direction, it will be a double play because now Neil Walker cannot play out in the outfield. Pirates trying to get two. This guy doesn't hit all that many ground balls. Got that big uppercut home run swing.
Ground ball, second to short to first, a double play ground chuck. How impressive has he been again? An inning-ending double play with runners at first and third. The Phillies threatening, but he gets the DP. The fifth inning, and we've got our text the booth question for Steve Blass. It comes from Chuck. Steve, what is the difference between a sinker and a splitter? You got the baseball with you.
Okay, both fastballs. The sinker is held with the seams, in the middle of the seams, released out this way, so we'll have that downward, and you release it over the top of the ball to get the downward sink.
We'll get back to it here after they top it up. Bunts, foul. Good try.
Okay, the sinker again, two seams. The splitter, you go wide across, and it's a split finger fastball, so it's not necessarily an off-speed pitch. It just gives you a lot of downward movement. So they both give you downward movement. The splitter probably straighter down. The sinker will give you more down and away, so it'll give you some sideways motion. Split finger fastball and the sinker.
Now, did you throw the splitter?
Oh, by the way, Kevin Correa has both.
Okay. Did you? As does Charlie Morton.
I never threw a splitter, but I threw the sinker. I threw a four-seam fastball and a two-seam. So that was called. They weren't called 4 and 2 then. It was the rider and the sinker. And the thing is, if you can't throw 94, 95, 98, you want to think and consider throwing the sinker because it gives you more movement. Difficult for the hitter to deal with.
One ball, two strikes to count on Tabata. Leading off the bottom of the fifth inning. Bullpen action for the Phillies.
By the way, I still love Elroy Face's definition, the difference between his forkball and the split finger pitch. About $3 million a year. Roger Craig, manager and pitching coach a lot of years ago, really got the split finger fastball a lot of attention, and it was referred to as a split finger fastball as opposed to the forkball, which is a changeup. I mean, you can put both your fingers completely around the ball for a forkball. You can throw it as hard as you want. It can't go fast.
So that's the difference. The forkball is wider.
Yeah. Yes.
So that creates the
straight across the ball.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And the splitter is across the top of the ball. The forkball is just exactly through the center. And that's an off-speed pitch. Elroy Face perfected it.
bunch of Philly fans watching their club. At the moment, not thrilled. A ground ball off the side of the mound. Utley throws and gets Tabata. Brings up Xavier Paul. You saw Sikorsky loosening in the bullpen. The left-hander. As Kendrick has reached the 66 pitch mark.
And you just saw Kyle Kendrick kind of shy away from that ball. As a pitcher, if you're not sure, you want to back off. You know where your second baseman is. It's a more comfortable play for him if you're not sure, because you might take a stab at it and just knock it down and becomes an infield hit. So Kendrick thought about doing that and pulled away and let Utley make the comfortable play.
Xavier Paul sacrificed in the first, singled his last time up, and a fly ball to left, sending Ibanez back. Well, Paul put a charge into that one. 2 outs. Buccos and the Mets on Friday. Free Shirt Friday. Neil Walker shows you the free shirt you'll receive courtesy of Bob Evans. Come to Federal Street before the game. Enjoy live music and festivities during the Barrel Kia Block Party. For tickets, go to pirates.com/Free Shirt Friday. Pirates hosting the Mets next Friday night. And we should tell you that there are still tickets available for tomorrow afternoon's finale against these Phillies, but they are going fast. And you'll also want to go to pirates.com, pick up tickets. You want to see one of the best in the game, Roy Halladay, and see if J-Mac is up to the challenge. James McDonald. It should be another good one tomorrow. All youngsters get Pedro Alvarez replica batting practice jerseys tomorrow. Don't file that one away. Call Pirates. Call the Pirates. Or go to pirates.com. Wah, wah, wah. Ground ball. Fair ball. Over the bag. And fan interference. They'll give McCutchen a double, or it bounced into the seats. And McCutchen a 2-out double.
Strike zone one. It's again presented by Range Resources. Take a look at where this pitch is. Right in the inside corner. Andrew was able to get the body out of the way, send it right over third base. Polanco not happy with that call, but that ball snuck in all by itself.
How about that?
Just under the doorway there.
Second double of the night for the Pirates. Tabata and now McCutchen. 4 extra base hits for the Pirates. Brandon Wood homered. Overbay tripled. Here's Neil Walker. Ball 1. Charlie Manuel had to use all but Madsen and Romero yesterday in the bullpen. I'd like to see Kendrick finish up 5. One ball, 1 strike on Walker. Pirates leading at 4-2. They've out hit the Phillies 8-6. McCutchen in scoring position. Mentioned that Walker currently tied for 8th in the National League with 37 runs batted in. The league leader Jay Bruce with 46. Prince Fielder next on that list, then Hunter Pence with 43. Ryan Braun, Ryan Howard both with 42. Matt Kemp of the Dodgers 40. Lance Berkman 39, and then Walker 37. He and Ryan Ludwig of the Padres with 37 RBIs. 2-2 count. Walker has hit safely in 7 of his last 8 games. Oh for 5 so far in the series. 2-2 pitch. Full count. McCutcheon there, and Steve, you'd have to believe that this is likely the last batter for Kendrick.
Yep.
The way Overbay has hit him. Nearly homered in the first.
And the pitch count.
See if Walker can get on board. Better yet, get on board and bring home that man from second. Toward left, Ibanez. The Pirates strand McCutcheon through 5 innings. Bucks up on the Phillies 4-2. Here, let's check out some other scores involving the National League Central Division. Brought to you by the Meadows Racetrack and Casino. Final at 11. Dodgers beat the Reds in 12. Cardinals over the Cubs. Brewers and Florida Marlins are tied in the 6th. San Diego hosting Houston, nothing in the 1st. Albert Pujols hit a 2-out homer in the bottom of the 12th. His second homer of the game to beat the Cubs 5-4.
Get ready. Albert's heating up.
Gives him 12 home runs on the season now. So the loss for the Cubs, they dropped 10 back in the division, and they've lost 5 in a row. The Pirates began the day 5.5 back of the Cardinals in 4th place of the division. Shane Victorino is 1 for 2, singled to start the 4th, at a ball to the warning track in center field, his first at bat against Charlie Morton. With that loss in 11 innings to the Dodgers, the Reds are now 4.5 back. So if the Pirates could win tonight, they'd move to within a game of 3rd place Cincinnati. Up-to-date standings. Pirates win tonight, get that half game back. And
once again move within 1 of 500.
Yeah, and even more impressively win another series, and this may be the most impressive of the year. Taking on this Phillies club. 2-2, but a long way to go tonight. Victorino, Ibanez, Dominic Brown against Charlie Morton here in the 6th. Clint Hurdle against Charlie Manuel's Phillies.
By the way, officially for Jimmy Rollins, fouled that ball off his right patella. That's kneecap. We have a friend named John Patella, don't we?
That's right.
John Patera.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, John Patera. I think the patella is kneecap.
He is a good friend.
And his knees are fine.
And it's Patera. Chopper, right side. Tough little play there, and nicely done by Overbay and Morton.
Yep. Lyle has a choice there of either charging that ball or laying back. I thought he was going to come in and take it before it hit again, but all's well that ends well.
1 up, 1 down. Tomorrow on IPB, Inside Pirates Baseball, that Clemente wall, no treat for right fielders who visit PNC Park. We're going to learn the secret of playing balls hit off it when we go Inside Pirates Baseball tomorrow at 12:30 on Root Sports. Different angles, different surfaces.
Yeah, you got that chain link fence that protects everything, and then some hard surfaces where you can get a sideways bounce.
21 feet high, that Clemente wall. For number 21. Ibanez has struck out and singled. Take strike 1. You can go inside Pirates baseball or inside the Clemente wall. Both tomorrow. Now, when they get a strike on Ibanez, the infield shifts. Ball lined to left. 0-2. The different defenses the Pirates employ.
After one pitch.
Yeah. 0-2 now.
Wonder what changes. Something. I mean, there's reasons why people do those things.
Whoa, up and in.
Strike zone presented by Range Resources, and this is not in the strike zone for sure. It's in the head zone. He just forces you to hit the top of the ball so many times.
And that's what Ibanez did in the 4th inning, but got a base hit out of it. Just a ground ball single. Ibanez turned 39 years old on Thursday. Struck him out. 2 out. Steve, I also wonder what it must be like for teams that face Charlie Morton, who have at times dominated him, including May 17th last year. These Phillies beat Charlie Morton 12-2. He fell to 1-7 after that night. His ERA was .968. He would make 2 more starts for the Pirates and then was sent down to the minor leagues. And here we are a little over a year later. And what must the Phillies be thinking?
Well, he's a different pitcher. Of course, they've seen video, so they know what he's trying to do, how he's changed. But until you face him in person, you don't really get the
full effect.
The full effect, exactly. Yeah, take a look. 0-2 lifetime, 12 innings, 13 runs. I mean, that's an ERA close to 10. And tonight, you're right, they're seeing a different Charlie Morton.
I talked to our man Brian McCann, by the way, when they were in town recently, his former catcher, and asked him, how, was he surprised by how Morton has transformed himself? And he really downplayed it. He said, not really. I knew he had it in him. We kind of grew up together. We were drafted the same year, grew up in the organization, so he was catching him the whole time until he was traded a couple of years ago. And it was just a matter of, as you've said so many times before, Steve, finding yourself and trusting your stuff.
And one thing clicked. I mean, it's a major change.
Yep.
It's
That's, to me, is the difference with Morton. It's one thing for, as you have said, to trust your stuff and all, and when it clicks, but to totally transform yourself the early part of your career, 4 years into your career. And unlike Halladay, he didn't go down he went down to the minor leagues for a little bit last year, yeah, but he really made this transformation over the off season, even in spring training.
Well, you look at a Charlie Morton, all his life he probably threw the ball by people.
Yeah.
And dominated. And it's not a matter of learning how to pitch. It's a different style. This guy's a different style pitcher. And he is the ultimate example of speed and movement. I mean, not that many pitchers have both. Speed and movement is a big item. You throw that over the plate, you got a chance to win.
Missed high. The fastball. Second walk.
Didn't miss by much. Strike zone. They're saying it was upstairs, but the strike zone by Range Resources like that pitch.
Here's Dean Sardina. He's been hit by a pitch and grounded out.
So
Morton is at the 89 pitch mark. Three times this year he's gone over 100.
And you know, when you talk about Charlie, you know, you talk about sometimes a pitcher not changing his style, just figuring it out, quote unquote.
Yeah.
That's not the case with Charlie. He changed his whole style. He doesn't have to make it real complicated now because he can get away with mistakes because he throws so hard. Most sinker ball pitchers don't. So Charlie, yeah, when you say he's pitching more, well, he's pitching differently, and he's got the luxury of having the speed with movement. I don't know how else. Can't flesh it out any more than that, but that's a combination that can get you successful as a major league pitcher. Speed and movement, and keeping the ball downstairs, and the movement is what brings it downstairs. So that's a result.
If you've read the stories about Morton, it's so interesting to really delve into this whole thing about how he has really transformed himself and the work that he's done with Ray Searage and Jim Benedict, who is the pitching coordinator who worked with Charlie Morton, and calling him into the office and discussing the slightly different arm angle, better movement on that sinking fastball, and then really trusting that. And
Charlie embracing it
sinker.
Because you know what? He was running out of possibilities. You know, how many chances do you have to perform at the big league level? The other stuff wasn't working. And when we talk about downstairs, well, the way he throws now, the ball has to go downstairs. So first of all, it's the movement, the way he's releasing the ball, and that stuff will happen. When you release the ball like that, the ball has to go down.
0-2 on Sardina. 2 outs, a man on. And he struck him out. Charlie Morton just keeps on rolling. He strikes out Dane Sardina to end the top of the 6th. He and the Pirates lead 4-2. Out tonight's freeze cam. Take you back to what looked like a stolen base for Xavier Paul in the 3rd inning, but that was not the call from Angel Campos, the second base umpire. What do you think? Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
New pitcher for the Phils. As you take a look at Xavier Paul, his left-hander Mike Zagurski. Pirates holding on to a 4-2 lead. Left-hander coming on to relieve Kyle Kendrick, who went 5 innings, giving up 4 runs on 8 hits. Didn't walk a batter, didn't strike out a batter.
Zagurski up Tuesday, replacing Vance Worley, who was optioned. Second recall of the season for Zagurski. Faces the left-hand hitting Lyle Overbay.
4th appearance.
Obviously ball 1.
Well, here we are again with another Pirate starter going 6 innings with 2 runs or less. Charlie keeping it going. The only bump between extension was Paul Mahallam, and Paul had the 7-0 lead against the New York Mets. It didn't work out. Not that it's automatic, but here we go again with Carstens last night and now Charlie Morton.
2 balls, no strikes. Pirates look to add on, leading by 2 in the 6th. Overbay, Snyder and Wood against this left-hander from Omaha, Nebraska, Mike Zagorski. Two-one count on Overbay. Overbay doubled off the wall in right field in the first, bringing home the second Pirates run, and then tripled in the 4th. That was impressive. That'll be our next text question. Tonight it's who's the most impressive pitcher you've seen so far this season for the Pirates.
It looked like an airbag in a car accident.
Yeah. Daniel McCutcheon doing good work. He's the only reliever, according to Clint Hurdle, not available tonight. That's why he is in the Pirates dugout.
2 innings for Daniel last night.
Yep. And he had pitched 3 straight games with that effort last night. So shut down for tonight. Everybody else is available. Once again, Clint Hurdle rolled the dice. He is the gambler. Throws conventional wisdom out the window, and he's fun to watch manage this club. He really has brought a different tone to this bench. And just some of the things he's willing to try, including Dusty Brown, the last catcher he had. He pinch hit him in the 11th inning.
And Charlie can work the gum, but Clint can work the gum better than anybody.
Greg Ritchie doing a good job with it. We asked him about what happened if Chris Snyder had gotten hurt. Steve Pierce is obviously on the disabled list. Matt Diaz was already used and out of the game last night, and he said, well, we'd have to go with a Pittsburgh kid. Neil Walker would have had to go back there.
For the first time in a long time. Originally signed as a catcher.
Those stolen bases. Some managers don't like that kind of gamble late in ball games, and there's a base hit for Overbay against a lefty again. It's another story, isn't it? The way Overbay's been hitting left-handed pitchers.
Yep. One knock, a long knock away from hitting for the cycle. We had that cycle question. Jason Kendall, last guy to hit one in this city.
3 for 3 night.
Back through the wicket.
Overbay with 12 hits in his last 31 at-bats against lefties. Hitting over 370 against him. Those left-handers during that stretch. Now Chris Snyder.
Love to add one on. Every one you add now in this part of a ball game seems like 2 to the other team.
I was just going to say, don't forget about the bunt. That surprised Polanco a bit. He was deep at third, and they're still not convinced. Snyder looks down at Nick Leyva. Bunting again inside. Imagine they're more convinced now. 2 pitches into it. 2-0 count. Nick Leyva, by the way, a former Phillies manager. Parts of 3 years as the skipper of the Phillies.
One other former skipper of the Philadelphia Phillies in the building tonight, Jim Fregosi.
Yeah.
Former Pirate player.
Strike called. 2-1.
In fact, Jim Fregosi went from being a Pirate player to an Angels manager in one day.
Two-one count. Still showing bunt and takes 2-2, and Snyder, you could tell by that reaction what he thought of Joe West's call.
Joe Joe will stare him down, too. Joe's got the angle looking right at him.
There's Keno, Jim Fregosi.
Yep, right in the blue, dark blue.
John Mercurio there, too. Pittsburgher, who had been with the Pirates for a long time, now a scout for the Phils.
Jim Fergosi's with the Atlanta Braves now.
Yeah. And Pete McCannon, former Pirate skipper. Good guy. He did good work, too, as a Pirates manager, very briefly. Did the same with the Reds. 2-2 count on Snyder. Upstairs to strike him out. Brandon Wood comes to the plate. And time for our Coors Light cold hard blast. Brandon Wood got this ball up in the air in the 4th inning. And it kept carrying, sending Raul Ibanez back not only to the warning track, then to the wall and gone. Cold hard blast brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. First homer as a Pirate for Brandon Wood. Ball 1.
Well, Brandon, now that you know how much fun it is, do it again.
On deck, Ronnie Cedeno, his bat awaits.
Almost, just got under it.
Ibanez for the second out. Count that one way up in the sky. Iron City Music presents Sky Blast, featuring Huey Lewis of the News live in concert next Saturday. Following the Pirates-Mets 7:05 game, don't miss Huey Lewis and the News. They'll be singing their songs. Zambelli fireworks will light up that sky. Tickets going fast. Get yours by going to pirates.com.
That guy goes to the same barber as Clint Hurdle. Same do.
Pete Vukovich looked to him.
Yep.
1 ball, no strikes on Cedeno. Doubled in the second and lined a shot off of Kyle Kendrick's glove. Carry him to the shortstop. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Cedeno. Matt Diaz comes out on deck to bat for Morton. A count of 1-2 on Cedeno. Overbase single to start the inning. Clint Hurdle asking Snyder to bunt. Snyder took a couple of strikes and then struck out swinging. And to the second baseman Utley. Cedeno is retired. Through 6 innings here at PNC Park, Pirates lead by a pair. Welcome back to PNC Park. 4-2 Pirates lead it. On to the 7th inning. Let's check out the road ahead for the Pirates. Brought to you by Nissan. Tomorrow, finale of this series. Be on the air here on Root Sports at 1 o'clock. Don't forget, tickets still available. Go to Pirates.com on a Kids Sunday. Roy Halladay on the hill. And then the D-backs come to town starting Tuesday night. 3-game series. Buccos trying to win another series. Done a good job of that this year. They're improving their record at home. And as we've said, this has been their biggest challenge to date, taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. Michael Martinez bats for Zagurski and takes a strike. Charlie Morton still out there.
Yep. Trying to stretch it out one more inning.
Had Cedeno reached, Diaz would have batted for the Pirates starter. J.C. Romero is going to be the new Phillies pitcher. Zagurski pitches a scoreless 6th.
Charlie dealing here in the top of the 7th, out in front of the pinch hitter, 0-2. Could be one of those situations where if he runs the table 1-2-3, gets him out 1-2-3, okay, he finishes the inning. If he gets a runner on, might be time.
High chopper, 2 hops, Walker, 1 out. Let's update you on Jimmy Rollins as Wilson Valdez comes to the plate. Jimmy Rollins was lifted from the game in the 3rd inning. Our AGH injury update. Left the game in the 3rd inning with right patella contusion. Fouled the pitch off his right knee in the 1st inning.
They don't want to see him lose any time. They've had enough injury situations with Utley getting back. And they're still dealing with the loss of Blanton, Lidge, and Schneider.
Victorino came back last night.
Yep.
Rollins, of course, missed 74 games last year with a couple of different injuries. Despite that, the Phillies went on to win 97 games. They went 97-65, the best record in all of baseball. But we're stunned. Baseball world was shocked when they lost the National League Championship Series to the Giants. 1 ball, 1 strike, and now Snyder out to talk to Morton.
Charlie has struck out 4, walked 2. He's been fine. The problems he's run into, he's pitched his way out of. And that is a major step, big step in the direction of becoming a dependable major league starter.
That was the thing I think a lot of people noticed, at least I did anyway, not knowing anything about mechanics and such, Steve, but it's spring training, his very first start. Just saw that confidence on the mound. The very first start he made down in Bradenton, Florida. There's a chopper. Going to be tough play. Cedeno bare hands throws. He got him.
Oh, sparkler.
Ronnie Cedeno.
And don't you know that that is big for Charlie Morton? Sparkling play by Ronnie, coming in on the run. Bare hand and a rocket to first base.
Well, there have been times this week where Cedeno has not necessarily had to bare hand. There he does.
Oh, is that nice?
The AGH cam shows you this pretty play by Cedeno.
And the neat thing, the ball comes up about waist high to allow him to make that play.
Watch the fans react behind first.
Way to go.
Strike on Polanco.
And in my mind, that allows Charlie to continue. It's just a 2-run ball game.
Looking to have a 1-2-3 inning for the 2nd time tonight. Over 100 pitches. And look at the movement there. Out in front of Polanco, 0-2. The toughest man to strike out in the league.
Not only the movement, Greg, but still 93 miles an hour with movement. What a combination. I think that's the essence of Charlie Morton right now.
I'd love to see him finish this off and give the crowd something to really cheer here. He struck him out looking. Charlie Morton.
Impressive.
And they will stand for him. They'll also stand for the traditional 7th inning stretch, and we'll keep it here. What a job tonight from Charlie Morton.
For the 7th inning stretch, we invite you now to stand, follow the bouncing Eaton Park Smiley Cookie, and join everyone watching at home on Root Sports as we sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Once again, the beautiful shots from the AGH cam. There are two very impressive starting pitchers. Charlie Morton, what a way to finish his night. Striking out, Polanco looking with that curveball. 1-2-3-7. This is something to see, this Pirates club in 2011.
Yep. A different version of your Buccos. Much improved version.
I mean, it's one thing to be improved, Steve. It's another thing, you know, it's one thing to a small step, but this is a giant step forward. Watch when Morton came out after finishing up two starters back to back.
Good stuff.
Man.
Now that's what you call a quality start. 7 innings, 2 runs. That's the pure quality start. Of course, the pure one was 9 innings, but that's a shutout. They're a complete game. But 7 innings, 2 runs is always been and always will the benchmark of a quality start.
Veteran J.C. Romero, third pitcher to work tonight for the Phillies, and he faces the pinch hitter Diaz. He bats for Morton. Fans treated once again to a quality game. Different look to this one, as the Phillies and Pirates exchanged runs in the 6th inning last night. 1-all until the bottom of the 12th, when Tabata singled with 2 outs to bring home Xavier Paul to make it 2-1. They got going right away in the first. Phillies scoring a run. Charlie Morton on a force play at second by Ryan Howard. Hit that ball and scored Jimmy Rollins, who had doubled. And then the Pirates answered with a 2 spot in the bottom of the first. Phillies tied it in the top of the 4th. The Bucks took the lead again in the bottom of the 4th inning. A Lyle Overbay triple. Chris Snyder grounded out to give the Bucks the lead, and Brandon Wood hit his first Pirate home run.
How about Charlie's work in the top of the 4th inning? Base hit, they score a run, 2 base hits to lead off, and then they don't get a ball out of the infield. I mean, that's shutting it down. That's tightening the bolts.
Diaz works the count full. Stays 3-2.
Now, all that being said, you want to protect this. You want to take it in your hands and gently protect it for the rest of this
See if you can add on to it here, Steve. Get some more, and then we'll see next inning. Looks like Jose Veras is loosening. And a leadoff walk. Bucks look for insurance in the 7th. Root Sports joining Pirates Charities for that live auction Friday night at 6:30. We'll be here on Root Sports televising, of course, against the Mets. You can purchase a VIP bag loaded with goodies like autographed memorabilia and tickets to a game. And we'll be stationed right out there in the Trib Total Media Hall of Fame Club as well. So you can watch it on Root Sports. Come here and also bid on some great items. Visit rootsports.com and check out the complete list of auction items. And a runner, Diaz, is picked off, but he will reach second safely as Howard's throw was wide.
Well, it's going the way the Pirates want it to go tonight. They got him picked off. Errant throw. And the left-hander has the advantage there, but he kind of caught a ball that just tailed away from the shortstop. Credit him with a stolen base. I'm thinking throwing error, but stolen base. Okay.
Talbot going to try to bunt him to third and fouls it off. See if the bunt is still on now.
Blanco talking to Romero, see what they want to do. 0-1. I would guess it's still on.
That is the third stolen base in the season for Diaz.
Is that a traditional call when the throw was going to get him at second base?
Yeah, you just can't assume that because it would have been a fairly close play.
It's a more comfortable throw for a left-hand first baseman because his arm is creating an angle that's not directly in back of the runner. The right-handed thrower has to really move in to create that angle because his arm is out right in the line of the running automatically.
Not bunting. Taps it foul. 1-2 as Talbot at least tries to move Diaz to third. The two stars of the game right there, young stars. Ryan Howard, of course, established. McCutchen on the rise. Great to see the Pirates and the Phillies playing anytime, but especially now with this Pirates club. Talking about on the rise, pitch in the dirt, and nearly rolls behind Sardina.
Yeah, don't take another chance, Matt. You got away with one. Be sure.
Talked about it before that Clint Hurdle does have those signs for first moves against lefties. As he said, I don't want the player to have that on his shoulders. Bounce to third and on to first, and Polanco again. It's a nice play, a strong throw. The runner has to hold. Diaz is there with one away.
And you know, you've got to have nerve to push the running game, push it as far as you possibly can, because you don't have a big offensive ball club right now. They're not scoring a lot of runs, and you know you don't want to give outs away. You don't want to run into outs on a regular basis too. So you got to kind of swallow hard and say, I'm going to still send them.
Yeah, that goes back to our topic about Hurdle, Steve. Exactly right. He totally has no concern whatsoever about the questions he'll be asked after the games for the media. I mean, the backlash from fans. He is going to, as he said before, look at what, and he says that our team, even though this is his first year, he talks about the history of this organization. Look what's going on in the past. We've got nothing to lose. This is the largest crowd in the 10-year history of PNC Park, by the way. It just announced. Largest crowd ever in the history of PNC Park, 39,441. And you and I were chatting after the game last night. We kind of thought this might happen.
Yep.
39,441. Historic night.
And I know there's fireworks, but I think
it goes beyond that.
You have to convince people you've got a much better product. You've got a product that people want to see and should see, and that comes first. You've got to show that, and then they will come. it's not a result of people coming that you get better. It's people coming because you already are getting better.
1-2 on Xavier Paul. Needs a new bat. 39,441.
Better play creates better crowds.
Third sellout of the season.
Great. What a great look. A full ballpark in this setting. It just simply does not get any better. And done deal. Done deal.
This tops even the All-Star game that was played here. 38,904 that night. This one, 39,441. All-time record crowd in the 10-year history of PNC Park.
And they're watching a good performance by the Pirates. That you can only hope that they put a lid on, finish it up.
As we said, work to be done.
Yep, and you would love to get a little more breathing room.
McCutchen on deck. Yeah, we're still talking about the Phillies. Utley, Howard, Victorino, Ibanez still to come in the 8th. Xavier Paul checks his swing. Appeal. Chad Fairchild says no go. 2-2.
Here's a better look. Yep. Proper call. Proper denial of appeal. Different look, isn't it? Great look. Pirate dugout.
Ball goes down swinging against the lefty Romero. 2 outs. Tomorrow, again, we mentioned the finale of this series. Come on out. Get your Pedro Alvarez replica batting practice jersey. All kids 14 and under get one. Compliments of Ballpark Franks and Giant Eagle. Come early for the family fun zone on Federal Street. Stay after the game. Kids run the bases thanks to H.K. Anderson Pretzels. Go to Pirates.com for tickets. Charlie Morton pitched a good one tonight. Jeff Karsten's last night. Tomorrow, James McDonald gets a chance against Roy Halladay.
Yeah, if you want to see one of the best there is in the business, and always mention that, win or lose, you want your kids to see the best in the business. Halladay is on that list.
Cy Young Award winner last year.
2 no-hitters.
A perfect game and a no-hitter. No-hitter in the playoffs. 2-0 the count on McCutchen.
It cost me a lot of money in that no-hitter in the playoffs. I was playing cards. I couldn't take my eyes off the screen.
Yeah. And he works quickly, too.
Boy, Shane Victorino, who, like a lot of center fielders, plays shallow with his confidence in his ability to go back, but there's a carrying wind, and Andrew can get into one, and he can get it over his head in between the wall and the center fielder.
Oh, a shot past Polanco. An insurance run for the Pirates. McCutchen into second base. It's a double. And it's a 5-2 Pirates lead in the 7th inning.
2-out insurance. Call your agent today. Agent in this case, Andrew McCutchen.
The AGH cam.
Finally get one past Polanco.
Yeah, you have to hit it that hard to get it past him. Second double of the night for McCutchen. His 11th double of the season. He drives in his second run of the night, giving him 31 on the year. He's 3 for 4 tonight, and he's getting red hot. McCutchen. As Walker steps to the plate, they're going to walk him intentionally to face Overbay, who's 3 for 3. Isn't it funny how managers work, Steve?
Yep.
I mean, this is the conventional go by the book thing because it's a left-hander against a left-handed batter. And Overbay historically, like many left-hand hitters, will not perform as well against them as they do righties. But in this case, Overbay has just been on fire against left-handed pitching.
And
12 for his last 31.
See, the numbers speak of history. It doesn't tell you what's going to happen tonight.
Well, this is history tonight for Lyle Overbay. This ball that nearly cleared the right field Clemente wall went as an RBI double. And then in the 4th inning, you'll see Raul Ibanez trip, and it turns it into a triple for Overbay, his first as a Pirate, and his last time against the lefty Zagurski, right up the middle.
Can you hit a home run here for the cycle?
Talked about it earlier. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that top the night?
You talk about early fireworks. This crowd would go bananas.
He's hit 2 off lefties this season. And it's ball 1.
Would that be the frosting on the cake for the record crowd? Yes.
Overbay is 1 for 9 in his career against Romero. And now 1 ball and 1 strike. Just feeling very comfortable these days against lefties. Hit .222 against them last season. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's hitting .241 this year against left-handed pitching. One and 2. Almost got his jersey.
He, like Andrew McCutchen, bouncing up some points on their team for their season average.
Now the AT&T question was the last Pirates hit for the cycle at home, but the last Pirates hit for a cycle overall was Darrell Ward. Not going to happen tonight as he goes down swinging. Pirates need 6 more outs. They add to the lead, 5-2.
Was not. In fact, Forbes Field played under the lights for the first time 71 years ago tonight, June 4th, 1940. Now, I was not able to confirm that this photo was taken that night, but still, you get the feel of what Forbes looked like with the lights on. Now, 2 quick trivia questions, guys. The first World Series game played at night was when?
1971.
October 13th, 1971.
And the first game ever played under the lights, where and when? First game ever.
That was in Cincinnati. Crosley Field, 1935.
Yes. Oh, you guys are good.
36, 35?
35. Crosley Field in Cincinnati. Wow. Now, if I could just get you to text 3 for it would be good.
Well, how are we doing that poll? We're going to revisit that later, I'm told. And actually, I cheated a little bit because I know that Dan Potash was going to be working on that story.
Oh.
I can't tell a lie, Dan. You know that. But was interesting about
time out. You can't tell a lie?
That's correct.
You just told one.
The information highway gets me again.
No, but you know what's interesting about that, Dan, as you do know, that the Reds were playing the Phillies that night, the first night game ever. The losing pitcher for the Phillies that night was Joe Bauman, who also lost that night against the Pirates. Isn't that interesting?
That
night
later.
Forbes Field?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not that interesting. I thought it was.
No, it is.
No. Sure it was, right?
So Bauman
was the loser for the Phillies against Cincinnati, the first night game, and the winner for the Pirates, the first night game at Forbes. Just
fascinating.
It truly is. I think I'm more fascinated to find out what the poll question is going to end up being. And we're certainly interested to see how Jose Veras does here in the 8th inning against Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, and Shane Victorino. Utley 1 for 3. Infield single in the 5th off Morton. Veras was the losing pitcher on Thursday in New York. Gave up 2 runs in the 8th inning, and the Mets came back from that 7-0 deficit. Benis Baez loosens in the bullpen for the Phils.
Losing pitcher last night. 12-inning Pirate win.
2-1. Veras in that 8th inning on Thursday in New York walked 4, 1 intentionally, and was called for a balk, uncorked a wild pitch. He tries to rebound from that. Keep the Phillies off the board in the 8th. Falls behind Utley 3-1.
You remember who started that first World Series night game?
Was it Bruce Keeson?
No. Bruce came in and got the win. 5 very impressive innings.
I don't know.
You and I were talking about him. You and I and Bruce were talking about him. Left-hander. Luke Walker.
3-2. Luke Walker started the first night game ever.
Yep. Got knocked out in the first inning. Yep. Bruce came in. Did a great job.
First night game in the history of the World Series.
Yep.
October 13th, 1971. There's Buster. So he got the win that night in relief, huh?
Yep. Hold on right there. Bruce Keeson. Now scouting for the dreaded Baltimore Orioles.
3-2 pitch. In the air. Left fielder Tabata with some room. In fair territory. Makes the catch. 1 up and 1 down. And tonight's the Home Depot doing more on defense. Take it back to this play. Ryan Howard was at the plate in the 5th inning with 2 on and 1 out. And hit into this 4-6-3 double play. That's doing more on defense, brought to you by Home Depot.
Huge double play. By the way, that poll question, I am going to register a formal complaint if Morton wins that particular question.
A formal complaint?
Yeah, I love Charlie tonight. I love the way he's pitching. Very impressed with him. But the fact that he's pitching out there, if my man's out there pitching, I win comfortably. So it's a matter of just who was out there.
All right. Your complaint has been registered.
All right.
Do no good, but it's been registered. It'll fall on deaf ears. There's the hammer, Joel Hanrahan. The Pirates hoping to get to him in the 9th, or maybe not. Maybe they'll even add on. We're going to check out the numbers now. Dan Potash, his man Hanrahan. I had Morton. Steve had Correa, the most impressive pitcher this season. And Morton looks like he is going to end up winning it comfortably. If you want to just make sure, 412-412, and punch in the number 2 for Charlie Morton.
21% still Clementi's number, so I'm all right.
Good call. And there's Correa.
Something to hang your hat on.
That's right.
For sure.
Look for the little things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got nothing with the Major League's biggest winner.
You know, just as you said that, I don't know if you had a monitor there, Dan, but James McDonald was holding up his thumb and his index finger like he was saying it for you. It's the little things. 4-3 on the putout. 2 outs in the 8th inning.
Well, James is from Southern California, so I would expect him to have my back.
That's right. J. Mack and Dan Potash both from Southern Cal, as is Correa. There's an Iowa kid, Joel Hanrahan. Well, now you start counting down the outs to make it 2 straight over the Philadelphia Phillies. You're down to 4. And a strike on Victorino.
A little 95-mile-an-hour heat here in the 8th inning. And then looking for the fastball. Shane Victorino not getting it.
To the count. Bucks trying to keep the Philly fans quiet. They were,
oh my goodness,
banked into the seats very, very quickly. Line drive, and you could see Veras' reaction and the others react, and they saw it. Victorino comforted somewhat there by Snyder, who put his glove hand on Victorino's back. Vicious line drive into the seats. Got someone on the left shoulder, which
that's
news. Yeah, actually, that's comforting to hear that, because you are exposed.
You can even be looking and have a problem getting out of the way of that.
Well, they're actually not even going to continue right now.
Joe West over there.
A fan was pointing to the left shoulder. Hopefully that's
up away from the heart area.
One gentleman is actually clapping as if maybe the person's okay. It's a young little fan, and he's being helped up. He's going to be escorted off. Oh my goodness, he got it, and at least he is standing up.
There's a Pittsburgh policeman escorting him out. He's walking.
Little guy.
He's got his McCutcheon jersey.
Yeah.
He's being a trooper, I'll tell you that.
Sure is. Victorino didn't want to, but he did, said Joe West. 1, 2, 3 go the Phillies in the top of the 8th inning. Bucks up 5-2.
Track of this after the game. Don't touch that remote or you'll miss the Pirates post-game show. See what Clint Hurdle has to say about the game and more. It's all coming up next right here on Root Sports. Stay tuned.
Brandon Wood on deck. Chris Snyder will lead things off against Denis Baez. Steve told you he took the loss last night. You got the first two men, including Brandon Wood, to ground out, and he struck out Ronnie Cedeno, but Xavier Paul got it going with a base hit. Paul would steal second and score on the Tabata base hit to right. There he is, Joel Hanrahan. Right now, a safe situation. One more run would take that away.
Probably cost Joel some votes in the poll.
I would imagine. 0-2 on Snyder. Picked up an RBI in the fourth inning following the Overbay triple. Bucks bat, bottom of the eighth inning, leading 5-2. About hit the Phillies 10-6. Two and two. Bucks have done good work against these Phillies at PNC Park. They've won 5 of their last 6 meetings against their cross-state rivals here. They have won 21 of the 33 games played overall at PNC Park. And tonight, they're trying to beat the Phillies in front of the largest crowd ever in the history of PNC Park. And they're putting on a great show in this fabulous ballpark, and it's ball 4. Leadoff free pass. Check out some minor league action. The Pirates AAA affiliate Indianapolis hosting Syracuse, top farm club of the Washington Nationals. A rain delay in the 7th inning at Victory Field. Chase Darno recently back off the disabled list and continues his hitting. 2 for 3, triple RBI. Portland beat Altoona 4-zip. Curve limited to 3 hits at Blair County Ballpark. And at McKechnie Field in Bradenton, final 8-0. Brett Lauren went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs. He is an all-star, though. He was named an all-star the other day. 5 members of the Bradenton Marauders named to the all-star team, including Brett Lauren, who came over from the Mariners, along with Ronnie Cedeno and Jeff Clement. Oh, and 2 the count. Pirates sent Jack Wilson and Ian Snell to Seattle. Brandon Wood in the hole, 0-2. His first Pirate home run in the 4th inning. Check swing rolled to Howard. He'll throw to second, get the lead man, and then throws the ball away. And the Pirates will end up with a man at second base.
They have gotten the breaks tonight, along with playing very, very good baseball. Perhaps an ill-advised throw back to first base by Valdez.
Error allows an insurance run to move into scoring position. Here is Cedeno. Could very well be 2 for 3. Doubled in the second and lined a ball right back to Kendrick in the 4th. Deflected off the pitcher's glove. He grounded out in the 6th inning to Chase Utley. Look out again.
Oh my goodness, almost in the same place. Is that Philly fan saying, what's up with that, or what's up with these 2 ball games?
I wonder. Pirates haven't been great hosts to the Phillies. 0-2 on Cedeno. Bucks have Garrett Jones out on deck to bat for Veras. 0-2 on Cedeno. We mentioned earlier he'll get the day off tomorrow. Bounce to Utley. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Wood goes to third. And now Jones.
1-2-3 8th for Jose Veras. That's a good thing. So he can get out there and have an effective outing.
Jones bats for Veras, hitting .228, 6 homers, 18 RBIs. 2 for 7 as a pinch hitter. There's another guy Clint Hurdle has mentioned is trying to work through. There's a ball that gets away from the catcher, and the throw toward the pitcher Baez gets past him. So Wood will score, and the Pirates lead 6-2. Sardina got to it quickly, but then threw it past Baez.
And in back of him, yep.
See Wood dancing down the line, finally decided to go ahead and go for it, and the throw nearly picked off Garrett Jones. Now a 4-run lead for the Bucks. Bounce to Howard. The throw made at first. No save situation, but 3 outs away from making it 2 in a row. Over to the vaunted Phillies, 6-2 Bucks. Joel Hanrahan will look for the last 3 outs here the 9th inning with Pittsburgh up 6-2. Charlie Morton would improve to 6-2. Great numbers from Joel Hanrahan.
Just can't get away from the thought of this many people and the Pirates putting on their best Saturday outfit.
Yeah, and you just said last night to Paul and Teak, times are changing here at this baseball club. This is maybe the kind of the coming out weekend for the Bucks, coming out party.
And so if it continues, then you get the feel we're going to all act like we're seeing it and not being amazed by it.
Yep.
I think of Jeff Carson's that way. We were talking. You were talking about that earlier. That it's not dazzling that he's doing what he's doing now. He is.
No more surprises, right?
No, yeah. You expect him to go out and give you a good outing,
and that's the way it is with Morton.
Yep.
I think we're beyond now.
We're not surprised.
We're wondering, is he going to collapse? Well, no. He's now 3 outs away from going 6-2.
And an ERA that's going to go down a little bit from the 251.
0-2 the count. The Pirates about to make it 2 straight over the Phillies. Improved to 11-14 at home. And 28-29 for the season. And remain only 5.5 back of the Cardinals in the Central. 1 behind the third place Reds in the division. One and 2 on Ibanez.
And now it's not a matter of drowning out the Phillies fans. Pirate fans are in charge here right now.
That's exactly right. They are in charge. In the air, left center, deep. McCutchen back. Oh, he tried to make another great catch. It bounces onto the track into the seats for a ground rule double. Is he all right?
What a long way Andrew McCutchen went there. What a long, long way. Pretty good effort in a 4-run lead in the 9th inning. This ball just kept running away from the left-hand batter, giving it a long run.
Almost like he kind of tripped.
Yeah, he lost his footing a little bit because he was down earlier than he wanted to be.
McCutchen made what we believe to be the best catch by an outfielder this season against the Mets in the first inning on Wednesday night, robbing Jason Bay of a double in right center field. A leadoff double for Ibanez. Phillies down 4. They still have a lot of firepower on this ball club. Dominic Brown has been on base twice. Singled sharply up the middle on a 3-0 pitch against Morton in the second. His ground out in the 4th brought home the second run for the Phillies. And then he walked in the 6th.
What you're looking for in a big picture in this kind of scenario, get the first out, because the first out in the 9th inning with a 4-run lead now will seem like at least half the inning that you need. But you want to get that first one on the books, and you take it from there. You just don't want to wait too long to get that first out.
Ball hit pretty deep to left, but room for Tabana. Approaching the wall. Out number 1. That's what you wanted, Steve.
Yep.
So Hanrahan gets an out, but is he getting enough votes for Dan Potash?
Well, Brownie, Joel not in a save situation tonight, but certainly trying to give us a taste of what he's been able to do 14 times this year. Well, 23%. Joel, I tried.
Well, you did good work.
I did.
You moved it.
I did move the needle.
Yep.
Just a little.
I am so proud of my man. Both your guys have been on the field. My guy is sitting there with no visible attention and leading the majors in wins.
That's a great
I am
point.
so proud of my man.
We're going to have the final results on our post-game show, so stay tuned for that and maybe keep voting, maybe.
I'm actually kind of surprised it's that close because, Morton, by definition, who's been the most impressive. How about Morton again tonight? 7 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits. 2 outs away from improving his record to 6-2. One ball, 1 strike. Bottom line, can't argue with anybody of those 3. They have all been most impressive, really.
We want all 3
kidding
of them
aside.
to succeed. And they are succeeding.
That they are. Kevin Correa will get the start on Tuesday night against the Diamondbacks. 98 miles per hour. 2-1 on Carlos Ruiz. Pinch hitting Ryan Domit. On the disabled list.
Yeah, liking the game, but not liking sitting.
2-2 on the pinch hitter. Can't repeat it enough. Historic night. This is a crowd of 39,441, largest ever PNC Park history. 3-2.
And you got to think we're going to start seeing a lot of real good crowds, perhaps even without a lot of promotional stuff. Not that that's a bad thing. It's great to carry something home or see a great fireworks show, but to come to the ballpark primarily to see the Pittsburgh Pirates play good baseball. That's what you want to get to.
You can do that tomorrow.
Yep, come on
Finale
out.
of this series, Roy Halladay for the Phils against James McDonald. And then that 3-game series against the Diamondbacks starting Tuesday night with Kevin Correa getting the start in the opening of that series. Paul Maholm will pitch Wednesday night, perhaps against his good buddy and former Pirate Zach Duke. Jeff Karstens will pitch Thursday.
And the Diamondbacks very much involved in their division, just a half game behind.
Ball 4. Then Francisco now will pinch hit.
I'm liking that 4-run lead right now because Mr. Francisco does not represent the tying run.
Francisco was getting the bulk of the playing time in right field with Dominic Brown on the disabled list. Two men on, one out, up by 4. Francisco 1 for 4 as a pinch hitter. And ball 1.
There will be some people thinking now the specter of the non-save situation for a closer. It's not an issue right now, but you don't want it to be one either.
It has come into play with certain pitchers. I don't see that as much with Hanrahan, no. It doesn't seem to be as but there are pitchers, Steve, that we've seen in the past that just, for whatever reason, really struggled in non-save situations. Jose Mesa comes to mind.
Yes.
In the air to right. And out of play.
There is not much wiggle room between the stands and that chalk down the right field line in that corner. And it didn't get to the stands on the fly. It gets real tight there.
A fun outfield to watch tonight, by the way, that Clint Hurdle had for the first time with 3 speedsters, Tabata, McCutchen, and Paul. Paul in right, McCutchen, of course, and in left field, Tabata. Covering a lot of ground.
Do it, Joel.
Did he? Strike 3. Joe West took his sweet old time before ringing him up. Playing to the crowd, perhaps.
Yeah, you got a little bit of Joe there. The slider, the perfecta slider.
And now, Pirate fans will stand.
See if we can put a lid on this thing.
Repair it over by the big flagpole in center. Can we raise it 2 straight nights against the Phillies? trying to capture another win in Pittsburgh. Foul back. Jolly Roger awaits.
Never have so many chanted "Let's go Bucks" in this building.
Off Hanrahan's glove. That would have been the third out. Hanrahan went for it. Did not have to, and that deflection cost them the third out, and it loads the bases for Polanco with Utley on deck.
If he doesn't make contact with that ball, that's Cedeno's play, and the ball game is over. Right there, the deflection. You can see Joe throwing the hat. I mean, he is upset.
Polanco struck out in the seventh looking against Morton. He reached on an infield hit in the first. He's flied to right and bounced out. Came in sixth in the league with a .317 average. Now batting .316. And well, now you have this crowd mixed. Pirate fans trying to outshout the Philly fans.
Yep, you got a vendetta now.
Polanco represents the tying run. Big cut.
Wow.
0-1.
That's power against power. Polanco's been around a long time. He knew exactly what he was getting. 98 miles an hour. Didn't get to it.
Ball, one strike.
Chris Snyder wanting that call. Went away and went to the slider again.
Oh, little base hit into center. This will score one. It is 6-3. The Phillies, with 2 outs, have made it a 6-3 game. Ibanez scoring from third. The bases remain loaded. And now the tying run is at first.
This is dangerous stuff now with Utley and what he has done over his career. He didn't want to get to this point, but here we are, and got to find a way to get it out.
Utley 1 for 3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts in his career against Hanrahan as Ray Sirridge, very popular Pirates pitching coach, goes out. Utley tonight 1 for 4. This is an amazing sight and sound here at PNC Park.
It has gotten intense.
It is like, I want to say it's like the intensity of a Penguin Flyer atmosphere almost. The old days of the Pirates and Phillies.
Oh, intense.
Everybody's standing. Phillies have brought the potential go-ahead run to the plate. Strike one.
And everybody standing, everybody in this building standing, and everybody having something to pull for.
Different agenda for everybody. 0-1. Oh, 2. 2 strikes on Chase Utley. 1 for 5 with an RBI last night. Infield hit tonight in 4 at bats.
You go with your second best pitch, which is a slider, or do you go with the heat, knowing that Utley is looking for the heat? He has to. Has to be looking for it. It's just simply too fast. Not to.
In the air to left. In the air to left. In the air to left and in the glove of Jose Tabata. Raise the Jolly Raja.
In the air tonight. Well, this got intense. This is down and dirty baseball. Major League Baseball. Everybody on their feet in the 9th inning. Pirates, very impressive. They win it 5-3, and they've taken the first 2 games against a very good ball club, and they've got to be feeling good about themselves. A lot more work to be done, but let everybody here enjoy the moment.
6-3 the final, and they'll stick around and enjoy the moment indeed. You do too. We'll be back with a lot more.